Hello. What percent of compiler was written by ChatGPT? Well, I heard it like 50% of all new software is written by ChatGPT, so the answer must be 50%. It's only logical. All right, so today I just wanted to get through some compiler bug reports and stuff. Because we just put out a beta update like yesterday or something, and it was one of these big like feature updates and making a lot of internal changes. And so, it's good to at least alternate those with like just fixing bugs and problems and whatever. All right, let's look at this one. Somebody has sent a repro. I still have not turned off the European cores on this machine. So that's annoying. Wait, didn't I? Oh. Okay, so let's look at the source code. This is all running at compile time. Let me read the bug report. Is this about... Okay, it doesn't seem to be specifically about compile time. So this is maybe just to make it easier to evaluate. So value dot 69420. Okay. That's as U64. All right. Cool. Cool. Incorrect when converting from constant. Interesting. So let's actually repro this in a smaller thing. So it's what this looks like. This looks like the address of something, right? So we're probably generating an L value instead of an R value in this case, but let's do this. F is going to be a nothing, and we're just going to copy. Let's actually put this out here. And then we're going to, fucking Emacs, dude. Emacs is locking up for 10 seconds. How is this acceptable? Like, what's happening? So I have Sokoban updating in another window. So it like just modified a buffer, but now, okay. Like, what the fuck? It like reverted one file. It's not a big file that it reverted or updated or whatever. Like, God, dude. If the switching costs for editors weren't so high, and if I actually knew an editor that I would be happy with, dude, I would be so happy to kick Emacs to the curb. because of all these Lisp people who think it's still acceptable to garbage collect in the middle of like me trying to type in the year 2024, almost 2025, which by the way, look up 10x editor. No, lots of people are unhappy with 10x, dude. That's what I heard, at least. Yeah, the webcam's a little too dark, isn't it? Let's fix this. We put a light on. By the way, I might be speaking at LambdaConf this year. Maybe my talk will just be trying to type in Emacs while it fucking garbage collects all day. All right. So we're putting this there. I was trying to just move this one line. That took 5 minutes. All right. So this should still go. Okay. Now, incorrect value when converting from constant. Okay, so we're just going to... we're just going to comment all this out. We're going to say n is a U64. All right. We can compact that into there. Still the same. We wouldn't expect it to not be the same. Okay, so now the whole reason I'm doing this is I just want to do that. That still compiles, and then let's dump it. Wow, okay. So we're somehow doing constant expression evaluation, and it's wrong. Oh, you know, yeah. So I bet there's some code that's saying like, oh, we're assigning to the L value of this, and that code was probably written before as existed. So we're going to have to figure out how to not invoke that probably in this case. Like, so the situation is we don't want constant expression evaluation for the I don't know. We'll look at the code. But basically, so when you say something equals v, right? This is a large value because it's a struct instantiation, right? And a large value, usually if you evaluate that in an expression context, you're just returning the address of it. That's just what that means in our internal bytecode representation, right? So that's fine. The problem is like we're not really doing the as cast after it. Or something. Something like that is happening. Look up GNU Nano. Why would I want Nano? Why would I want to use Nano? Negative compilation for... No, I'm not. Look. I download the editor and I use the editor. My job is not to program the goddamn editor to make it more useful. Like, what is wrong with people? The editor should let me edit things and be happy in its default configuration. Applications will charge you like $1,500 a month for a subscription. Yeah, it's, dude, it's nuts. It's nuts. All right. So at least it's very simple bytecode that we don't have to have a gnarly time with. One other thing we can do, if you use the debug compiler, let's go this way. It's this way. What is going on? Why don't I remember where this is? I type this all the time. Um, what is happening? Am I? I'm getting paths between programs confused. It's not in bin. Why am I so confused about this? Where the hell is my x64? I don't remember. Why am I blanking on where I'm expecting to see a build folder here and I don't see it? Let me look on my laptop. I swear I just typed this like 10 minutes ago. Like, am I smoking crack now? Do I need cursor to tell me where my folder is? Yeah, it should be. There should be a build folder here. You know, it's probably just that I literally never compiled the compiler on this machine. Since the machine was installed, because I've been working on other stuff. That's probably why I'm so confused. The problem is, all right, I was gonna say it's easy to build the thing. The problem is this is it's a Visual Studio project, and I don't want to install Visual Studio on this machine because I've had it with that crap. So, except if I don't, we're not going to be able to work on the compiler. So we're now turning into a Visual Studio install session, I guess. Do we already have it? Oh, we've got the build tools. Bro. Can I just install this? Did I like put in my license key? Please update Visual Studio. Can get away with build tools only. Like, maybe, but I don't ever use the command line build tools, so I don't. You could try MS build. Yeah. All right, let's try MS build. How do we MS build? So where's our VC proj? It's right there. I don't have the right. Here we go. Okay. Can I just do the VC proj? It doesn't contain the configuration and platform of debug Win32. I don't remember what the configurations are. Oh, SLN. All right. The build tools cannot be found. To build using... fuck all this. Dude, just... This is... Yeah. I'm just going to do the same thing that I always do to compile, because doing literally anything else will just... I will die, right? I will just fucking have such a huge aneurysm trying to figure this shit out. What the? I'm just trying to... Like, you can't even just unclick it. Like, look at this. Like, I hover over the check mark, and now I can't see the check mark because it's putting the tool help text over the check mark. Try CMake. That's not gonna fucking work. Are you kidding me? Told you. Build insights. Oh my god, this is so horrible, dude. Look at that. It just won't let me click things. You know when people say on Twitter, sometimes you can just do things? That doesn't involve clicking things, apparently. Why is like this SDK? Well, why don't we want the new one? All right. Well, that's going to go for a while. Because you can't do anything without like 27 terabytes. They've had longer than you've been alive to get this stuff right. Well, all this stuff used to work better. That's the thing, right? You're operating under some model where software works better over time as more people work on it, but that's not how it is, right? There's like, it's like a parabola where the inflection point is very early, right? Past some team size, software simply will not get better as more people work on it. At least it downloaded fast. Good thing we're installing SQL for some reason. And test tools. It asked about 142. Yeah, but we don't care about that. We can change that to 143. It doesn't really matter. In fact, this probably doesn't even do anymore what we wanted it to do, which was reduce dependencies in the output executable. So you don't have to install the Starship Enterprise on your machine to run the compiler. Oh, did I not even... there is a thing in this installer to install... Oh, I guess it only gave me 143, right? We might be able to find 142. Look at the version number on the installer. There have been 312 billion versions of this. Oh no! Guys! No, you're right. I accidentally just installed Visual Studio 2022. Oh, okay. See, it's basically 2025. Basically I just saw the build tools number here and I was like, "Oh yeah, of course I won't." No, that's not I'm not running this crap. What are you talking about? Because then I have to like irreversibly update my project files in some subtle way or whatever. Like maybe that won't happen, but I don't trust them and I don't want to use this. All right, so now I think I have an installer for 2019 on Dropbox somewhere or something because of course Microsoft doesn't want you to be able to do anything, right? So they don't let you. I don't see it here. Visual Studio 2019 installer. So let me, so I'm going to wait till this uninstall finishes running, and that's taking like 5 years. Like all I'm trying to do is compile a C++ program, guys. Modify individual. No, I'm not. I can't try that because after I try that, something else will be wrong, and I'll be stuck in 2 hours of command line bullshit trying to figure out how to compile. No, no, I refuse. I refuse to do it. All right, so um, I probably should delete the 2022 build tools also, but let's try and get the compiler going first. Oh. All right, we get to do all the same stuff again, except it's all different. Okay, we got 142, we got Windows 10, we got debugger. No, look, it's still, in case you thought that they fixed this bug for the 2022 installer, they did not. So you can't click check boxes, right? We'll keep. I never figured out how to use ASAN, but um, that's probably fine, right? Hey, look, 9 GB. Is that the SDK? No, it's 6. It's 7 GB for the compiler. Well, I guess we have two SDKs here. Okay, so it's really these SDKs are a lot of it. It's still 4 GB for the compiler. I'm fighting Visual Studio. Well, I never installed it on this machine, and I want to work on the compiler, and so now I have to install it, and I installed the wrong one first. So whatever. So hopefully it'll be fine this time. The problem is I didn't have Vue142 tools. No, that's the first problem. You forgot an adjective. That is the first problem. This may actually be a good argument for self-hosting. I mean, it is a major point in favor of self-hosting, as is the fact that if we self-host, I don't have to program in C++ anymore. That would be great for me, man. But it's not the thing to do yet, I don't think. We're definitely getting closer to the time when self-hosting makes sense. It's just, you also want to have a little more of a team on the compiler to do that, because you basically want to start the self-host in parallel with the main compiler, because you don't want to stop main compiler development while the self-host is going, right? And it's a non-trivial amount of work for sure. So, when I release it, someone else will self-host it for free. Maybe, but have you seen the quality of most open source software? Like, dude, we get contributions from people already from our small beta, and we have to police them heavily because some of them are just awful. Some of them are good, and of course, the smaller the contribution, the higher the chance that it's good. But like, you're gonna like say, hey, internet, please blindly port my compiler and make it good. It's not gonna go well. You're gonna get a Rust enthusiast to do the port, and then they'll just like slip in adding lifetimes and Tokayo to the language during their port, right? Like, that's literally what would happen. All right. So hopefully this will mostly work now after our 25-minute delay. I love how it's so bad at loading project files. It has like a we're loading project files in other threads window. Like, it's so bad at loading project files. There's extra UI for it, and the UI is also bad. Right? Oops. Guys, my brain is fried today. All right, we finally got it. So all I was trying to do the whole time was get these extra annotations, which come out in the bytecode dump and the debug build. I mean, it's still, once we start modifying the compiler, of course, we're going to want to be able to rebuild it anyway, so this is all good. But basically, this is generated at line 6816, which tells us something. How do I, this keyboard has a way to turn on lighting. I don't remember. What, does anyone remember how you turn on lighting on this keyboard? The model number of which I don't remember what it is. I tried fun spacebar and that's not it. Fun arrow down. Nope. Keychron Q3, that's what it is. Fun tab. Like, why do people pick different, I don't know, like fun space has been kind of becoming the standard on laptops, so why not do that? Now, it's not really helping because these keycaps are not good for that. Maybe I need a little light down here on my thing. In fact, it's easier to see with the lights off. All right. Okay. Oh. This is really weird. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think so. You know, there's different debugging tactics that you would use. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a breakpoint down here. And we want to look at the whole call stack of how we got here and where we would make the different decision. Because what's going on is find or add emitted constant is not what we want to call. But we're calling it because we have number flags, all right? And we're emitting a literal, but it's just like, whoops, what code was it? I scrolled off the thing. You know, we're here. I guess we're not going to use remedy today. We're here because some code didn't anticipate this possibility. Wait. Oh, wait, what? Okay, I put the wrong line. 6816. This, okay. It's confusing because they both, I guess I was looking there, but similar, same problem, really. We got a value placement, which is like a way of optimizing our bytecode so it's not as messy as the bytecode of most compilers is. And like most compilers will just spam bytecode and then clean it up in the so-called optimization passes, right? And we try not to spam. There are plenty of improvements we could make in our bytecode generation, but you know, one of the major ones is we have this placement thing, and you know, it'll tell people if we want a value where to put the value. The problem is we probably shouldn't be in this function at all. But we have to look at how to make that decision. So I'm going to try to, okay. Do we have a site variable here or something? See, we didn't pass a site. That's kind of a problem. We'll try putting the literal. I'm just going to comment out this whole thing here so that when we run it, it won't do anything at compile time. Yeah, but we still get our incorrect dump, right? Okay, so now we just, you know, we're going to try. Dude, I've got. Why do I have too many windows? My brain doesn't want this many windows today. So we're trying to emit a literal. The literal is here. It's at line 8. So I'm just going to try that. The problem is there might be other code paths going here. So I don't know. Okay, so we have to go debugging. This is called unexpected as. All right. Hopefully that built. Oh wait, I didn't put the breakpoint. Let's zoom in a little bit. Zoom holio. All right. Like if your editor can't even do that, if it won't even resize the font with mouse wheel, then get out of town, right? Of course, you can't resize with mouse wheel down here in these debug windows. Why? That would be way too hard, guys. Also, you can't. Oh, this is autos. Fucking. All right. So. Okay, wait. This says number literal. So maybe this is the right place. This might be the right place, but we emitted an incorrect number literal, right? Yeah, like this looks like a very big value, the likes of which, you know, we tend to output. Right? So that looks like the address of something. So the problem really could be that we generated the wrong number literal, right? In which case, that's good. So we can do something more specific here. So we'll go to our next debugging technique, right? Anyway, let's make sure it's the right place first. So here, we're emitting this for a declaration that's at line 29. And it's for n, lowercase n, line 29. And that is indeed what this is. So this is the right code. And it's not that we're in the wrong function. It's that the data, like we extracted a literal, I guess. We created a literal somewhere that has the wrong value. And then we're just using that literal. Now, why did we do this? I don't know. So we're going to do our second technique, which is we want to know where this gets created. So we're going to do that. And we're going to break when it gets created. All right. Const expert cast number to number. Okay, that's no surprise. What is the number, though? So we passed in a struct literal to code that's expecting to cast from number to number. That doesn't seem good. Okay, let's go up a little bit. Make implicit cast. Yeah. Okay. So here's what we're saying. We're trying to do like an as cast. It's called cast via using, but that's because Using used to do this, and we changed it to the as directive, but we didn't rename some of the internal things. So if we're given a struct, but we don't want a struct, right? We get down here. So I guess this checks for that. Okay, so we already, I guess we evaluated the substitute somewhere else. Whoops. Okay, so we already pulled this field out, right? Here we go. It's a field of this value. Now, here's the thing. I think that in general, it's not our policy yet to constant expression evaluate subfields of structs. I think it's actually on my to-do list to do that, but I don't think we should really be trying to do this right now. So I have to decide what I'm trying to do. I think the right answer is you just punt and you don't constant expression evaluate right now. Or, I mean, you at least want to notice like, hey, it's an as cast. But like, okay, so we're here. We're casting. Okay. So here's the problem. Here's the problem. We're just trying to make a cast. This code that's about doing this member cast is just making a cast. No big deal. The code that's just making a cast really is expecting to be called for anything, right? So the problem is that's just not allowed. But let's just see, because what do we have? When we get here, what do we have for expression? Where's the frickin'... Oh, I don't have... There's like a props file that we usually have that I guess we don't have. It's a... Okay, so we're passing the struct literal in here. And so the okay, here's why we have a big pointer. We have this union of all the values depending on what the type is, right? This is a struct literal. We're pulling the struct literal info, which is a pointer, right? But we think it's U32, right? So that is where the bug is coming from, because this code is trying to implicitly cast. Let me just say, let's just do a very quick thing. What I want to do is pass down a parameter that says you can't implicitly cast this, right? I'm not sure that's the best solution, but I don't know that I have a better solution right now. So I just want to validate that this fixes the problem. Okay, well, Right. So we can't actually. Let's just do the thing then. I was gonna try really quick to just turn this off for everybody, but we need constants sometimes. All right. So the problem is this is C++, so I can't just put an optional parameter here because it might be defined in a header file. Oh God, it's fucking defined in 17 places because that's what I do when I am sad. All right, so we got to delete this. We got to go to typer.h, go to document. What's wrong with the word open, like you used to say? All right. We're just going to put this somewhere. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're going to fucking put the star in the right place. Did it passive aggressively changed all the stars when I copied it? What a fucking dick. This is why nobody wants to use this software. It does formatting when you paste. Yeah, it does wrong formatting chosen by people who don't understand the programming language that they're programming in. All right, so we want... So the whole deal is in C++, if you're going to have an optional argument like I'm about to put in, you could only have it in the header file and only once. Because, you know, it's obviously too complicated to understand your program otherwise. So you can't just put it on the body, right? On the body, you have to pretend it's not optional because C++. So we're going to do... my brain's really slow today, guys. That's just where I'm at. We're going to do an optional argument that says disallow, it's a bool, disallow constant folding. And that's going to be false usually. All right. And then here we have to say bool disallow constant folding. And, you know, it doesn't have the equals. Why? Because C++. Okay. So we're just going to do this. I think that's an ast. I don't know. Okay. So then in our calling site, which was here, why? Just go back to the previous one in this file. Ugh. Where was it? Like, it's, dude, it's amazing. I'll just hit all the backs till we get there. All right. Oh yeah, it's in do cast via using. All right, so false. We'll put a no check in explain. Okay, in general, I don't change settings, but there's two settings I absolutely have to change, or else it's gonna drive me nuts. How do I... Where's the fucking settings? All right. There are two settings that must be changed. Oh, this is defaulting to true now, I guess. Don't do that. Okay, what is... How do I turn off the stupid... Okay, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. I mean, I don't actually know what the right options are. No, 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 no. All right. That was more than 2 settings. Did I mean to type sub equals? Let's see. Dude, it put the star. Yeah, I did mean to put sub equals. Thanks for catching that. All right. So, and it didn't fix it at all. What? I've had that happen to me a lot lately, where I do the things and I expect it to do the thing and it doesn't do the thing. Did I pass true to this? I guess we'll see. All right. All right. That's the creation point. Here we go. What is sub? Sub is, so disallow constant folding is false. Why? I typed false here, guys. So I should not stream when my brain is like this. I think I'm entering vacation mode. All right, so now sub is null. I'm entering vacation mode. All right, so there we go. Now we're getting the address of the struct. We're reading the first member, and that's the correct answer, I believe. And so if we do this and we go back to here and we go back to here, whoops, wait, what? Redeclaration of n. Oh, I guess I did that. Oh, because, yeah. There we go. We got the right answer all 3 times. Now let's run some tests. This might take a long time because of all the European cores on this machine. How long have I been making compilers? I mean, I was making toy compilers in college, so a long time. Hey, look, we passed all the tests. Now we get to decide, is this actually the right answer? Let me remind myself, because it definitely used to be the case that we do not try to do constant expression evaluation for struct dereferences. However, I believe the status of the roadmap was that I would like to do it sometime, because like there are hard cases, but we could just not do it in the hard cases, and in the easy cases we could do it, right? So now it's still not something I want to do today. We could actually do that tonight, but the goal right now is not to add more features. The goal is to reduce bugs, right? And those two things are kind of opposite. So I'm going to resist the temptation to just go do it. But there's a how-to that I can use to remind myself if this recollection is correct. And it's called Things That Are Constants, 551. Okay. Strings and arrays are easy. Reading members of struct literals is not constant, at least for now, because it was very complicated internally with the compiler. Okay, well, since I wrote this, I sort of decided, well, there are simple cases and complex cases, and we could break out the simple cases and guarantee people that we do it for the simple cases. But we don't currently. So, we have to explain. I'm going to put some explanation on both sides of this. Right. Disable. What was it called? Constant folding. Did I call it constant folding? Yeah. Okay. Disallow constant folding is used by ascasts because we end up passing a struct literal as expression, and this code is not meant to handle that. See other comment under this tag. What's the tag? Ascast disallow constant folding. All right. Dude, my shift key. All right. So down here we'll say ascast disallow constant folding. Make implicit does not expect to navigate struct literals. So if we it tries to const expert cast. Note, because this point of confusion arose once, we had a bug where we were dereferencing the use64 field of a struct when the value was a struct literal info. It could happen again, and maybe this is likely, so maybe for robustness we want to check the type of expression here to guard against these possibilities. possibility. There's really 4 eyes in there, man. Okay. If so, then maybe we don't pass disallow constant folding. Instead, just check the expression. So do I like that solution better? I'm not sure. There's a thing about it that I like because you're guarding against whoever the caller is. Like any caller could pass you this and it would be fine. What I don't like about it is it's kind of magic. Like, oh, the system generates the right behavior because we happen to check for this expression type in this case. I mean, we could comment it. I don't know. We're going to try this. We're going to try this solution for now. If for some reason we're unhappy with this in the longer term, we could switch it. All right, so make implicit cast does not expect to navigate struct literals. It tries to const expert cast whatever we pass it, which doesn't make sense in this case. If we want to const expert here, we probably do it ourselves to some degree. However, we don't currently support constant folding when dereferencing struct literals anyway. So for now, it's fine. We just tell make implicit cast not to constant fold. Okay. Boy, wouldn't that have been better if I used GitHub Copilot. Oh my God, the European cores, we have to reboot the machine and turn them off. Although no, somebody said you can't turn them all off. Right, so, I mean, I guess being able to turn all but one off is fine. Why can't you turn them all off? What's the deal with that? There's a to do 2 lines below from 2021. That's not really a to do. This thing, this is just an idea. I mean, it is a little bit related to what we're talking about, but it's related. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I just put ideas in the code, right? All right. So never mind the goofy foam and particles and all that. It all looks not good, but it'll look real good soon. I could show you the secret thing I did today, but I'm not going to till it looks good. Okay. So, you know what I should do on this level, though? We should put a surface under the water. Because it'll just be more like what the level would actually look like. Like, not having a surface back there is bad style. So do this. Boop. Is that too low? Yeah. All right. All right. Maybe we'll make it a sandy color. So I can kind of see the grid down here. But really, the main thing it's doing is it's giving us a little depth buffer back there. Okay, is that editor UI system custom? Yes. Yes, it is. I mean, we're using the GetRect widgets for this. So like all these buttons and stuff are available to everyone and the text inputs and all that. And when we give out the engine, you'll actually get this editor, right? Yeah. I don't know what happened with these particles. I don't want to debug the game right now, but something like last stream we did a thing where we made these happen on the rivers and go the right direction, and then like that broke. So I don't know what's going on there. See, they're like off the bottom and stuff. I remember seeing it look like this, and then I fixed a bug and it was better. So maybe I reverted before checking in the fix. Will we give out the source code for the entire game? We will give out a working game that has most of our gameplay code deleted so that you can't just resell our game. But it'll have all these. We'll give away a bunch of meshes and models, and you know, you'll be able to walk a dude around in a map, right? And push blocks, probably, maybe. Okay. Block pusher, the pushing. I mean, we are still considering titles for the game, so maybe it'll be called Block Pusher, the Pushing. I don't know. All right, so the whole reason we did that was just to make sure the game still works. Let's take out our no check-ins. That search went really fast. When I search on my laptop, it takes like 20 seconds. So I wonder if it degrades over time the longer you have Visual Studio installed. Because I remember it being slow on my desktop before as well. All right. When as casting, fix a bug. When as casting a struct literal. And I forgot to put this in the change log. Fixed incorrect results when as casting a struct literal to U64 to an integer in some cases. Okay. I'll reply to this person and say this is fixed in the next beta. Thanks for the report. Now, you know, sometimes streaming takes it out of me. But let's keep looking. Someone says Compiler crashes in this simple case. See attached files. So let's see the attached files. First of all, let's see if it crashes for me. Probably does. No, okay. Well, maybe it's something we fixed. Let's see. What is this? Func. We imported as file. I mean, you could have put it in a string, dude. Oh, he commented out what crashes the compiler. B : equals combined dot A. Interesting, but it has to be an import? Why is that? Yeah, okay. Crash. Crash reprod. Why does it have to be an import, do we think? Like, wait, what's going on? We just call func. What? So what happens if I just compile other directly? It's fine. I'm starting to get hungry. Okay, so I'm probably going to go get dinner sometime in about 20 minutes before the place I want to go closes. So this won't be a super long stream tonight. But let's try to figure this out before that happens. We can certainly at least see where it is. Dude, this icon is so ugly. All right, what are we doing? Why is this happening? Is bakeable global return is not set. Interesting. I don't remember. This is probably a simple fix, but this is one of these things where I expected all calling sites to handle this. And here we didn't quite. So we're inferring a type for struct literal. Oh, we're saying allow bakeable globals, but we're not. Oh, we're not even checking that flag. So so if it's a bakeable global, we're returning true. All right, let's just see. Dude, I just used autocomplete. Did you see that? Just because I'm typing in Visual Studio, I did it. I did it just to trigger all the people who say, like, but you never use autocomplete. That was the wrong compiler version. All right, well, it runs and compiles now. So the question is, what was that for? like, I don't remember why I think this is so important. Also, okay, like, we probably should assert, whoops, this is the wrong function. We probably should assert at the top of the function. Instead of down here. Because, like, so in some of these cases, right, we're triggering a problem like way, way, way down in the call stack in a minority of cases, when probably we would have caught that in other cases if we just asserted up here, right? So like, so we're just going to put that there. And we're going to see if the tests pass, right? They probably won't. Because if I forgot this in one place, it's quite possible I forgot it in another place. But we'll see. Maybe that was the only place. All right, so when people call this, who passes a flag there? No flag, no flag. This is a quite commonly called function. And the reason I don't remember what to do here is because I call this function all the time, but not with these flags, right? So like, I don't remember why I felt the flags were necessary. So let's see. Who passes them? I don't see any flags anywhere here. Here, but that's like a recursive call up from the same function. Same here. But like, we're not even passing bakeable global first call, which is weird. Like, do we ever even use that? Like, what's going on? All right, so it looks to me like maybe the reason I don't remember this is because it's really old and maybe it's not even needed anymore. We definitely did some changes to so this is the line that we changed, and that's the only one I've seen so far. Let me know if you see a different one. Okay, here's one. Okay, so what are we doing? What is going on? We're doing a bake directive. That's not a surprise. And we're allowing bakeable globals. What does that mean? Oh, okay. It means, for example, so we wouldn't necessarily call the address of a global variable constant because it has a different value at runtime than compile time, which is annoying. So you can't like add that to an integer and get an integer, right? And expect that to be a meaningful thing. And so there's a little bit of a differentiation where we don't consider that constant, but we do say there's things you can do with it. And maybe, that's one of these weird ideas that maybe we should clean up, right? Okay, but what do we do with is bakeable global here? If so, we basically okay, so here's the thing. We've got an argument, and if we get a constant expression substitution, we put that in, right? And then if it's not something bakeable, I guess we error later. That all makes it okay. So what this flag is just doing is it's telling us that that's okay. So now why, I ask you, are we saying allow bakeable globals here? And actually, oh, interesting, right. So we don't actually return a constant here. We will return null, but we manually substitute. All right, so here, wait, did I copy the whole? Let's just copy this whole thing because I want to, I don't know why I didn't do that here, but if it's not commented, whoops, where is it? Dude, I lost my place. Here. All right, this must be, okay. This is done, so yeah, these are the only two call sites. Or if there's another one, it also passes is bakeable global. Okay, so why are we allowing bakeable globals here? What is this? This is infer type for struct literal. Dude, I keep losing my place. Okay, so R value expressions. Okay. Here's the thing. We're erring here on the side of we're saying allow bakeable globals, but we're not actually allowing bakeable globals. All right. So let's allow that. Dude, I hate the shit popping up. It just, why am I typing in this thing? Right? Okay, so if that, we're going to say 2 constant equals, I guess R value. All this, like this shallow cast on array literal, is another way of considering things like constant enough. And maybe I want to unify all that stuff, but I don't want to do it right now. So now I'm being a little bit dangerous because like I'm doing constant folding in another case where we didn't necessarily expect to do it. All right, so here, yeah, we just direct substitute, and that seems plausible. Although we're going to run some tests here, and maybe this actually causes problems. So, array literal, it might simplify the code in many cases. Okay. Because there's a lot of cases when we say shallow cast on array literal is okay. All right, let's just see what happens here. We might have a problem in some of the tests. We'll see. What is a bakeable global? It is a global that you could bake. Why would I pass a bool pointer? Because we're writing into the pointer. We're returning the value up, right? Why not a bool reference? Because I think that's horrible, shitty style. Because at the calling site, the reason it's not a reference is because I want to see this at the calling site, because that's what lets me know that that Boolean gets modified. I have no other way of knowing that reading the text of the program. Okay. This is why references in C++ are so bad, is because I don't know if it gets modified. Now, that's an advantage that is not necessarily consistent, because it is true that in C++ you pass like struct pointers around like candy, or at least I do. And a lot of the times those aren't modified. But, you know, I mean, take the advantage when you can get it. This is just a readability thing that I like, right? Because this isn't a pointer locally, I expect that it's not going to get modified outside this procedure unless I see it get modified, right? So no references. You get fired if you write a lot of code like that. Well, no. I mean, first I tell you to stop doing it, and then if you keep doing it, you get fired. If you don't modify it, then you const reference. I mean, well, if it's already a pointer because you're passing it down 17 levels as a pointer, you probably do a const point. I mean, this is the confusing thing because they changed the meaning of const pointers halfway through, so I never remember. Like the original thing they did made sense, and then the thing they do now doesn't really make sense. So I just didn't bother to remember it or use it very much. Okay, we did introduce a problem here, I think. Unhandled expression 4 in copy expression to global data. All right, only one test failed out of all our 700 and something tests. But yeah, that's one too many. So what's happening is now we're trying to consider this as constant, the address of cube mesh, and we didn't consider it constant before. And I am actually, because we're just trying to fix problems right now, I am actually going to not consider this constant yet. We could look at this. Like, the problem is yeah, no. I'm just going to put a tag on it for now. Cuz this really isn't, it's not quite constant. But we could handle it. It's just I don't want to introduce new problems, right? Our goal right now is not to introduce new problems. So we're going to go here. That's not the right one. I'm going to switch back to the less bad editor. All right, so this code was intended to allow bakeable globals to be handled as constants inside struct literals, but inadvertently this did not work. Trying to stabilize the code right now and reduce bugs, but it is probably not hard to make this work if I enable the line below. I get an unhandled expression type in global data, so, presumably for an asked unary operator. And handling this would involve just handling whatever expression types can get detected as bakeable globals. All right, I am hungry, guys. Oh boy. What is today, 21st? 21st. 2024. I almost thought it was next year. Okay, so that's fine. We're just going to make sure that all our tests run again and that the game runs. They probably do. Wait, did I rebuild the compiler? Yes. All right. How hard was it to just have immutable pointers that works as one would expect? We sort of do that in our language through a slightly different mechanism that I'm not really sure is quite final. So I will stay away from commenting. But what I would say is, like, I'm not quite sure. Oh, wait, we didn't fix it? What? Hold on. Am I sure we recompiled? Like, I'm not sure. So, on purpose, they made it so that const pointers can get casted to non-const pointers. And um, I am not sure what the rationale was. Like, I'm not sure what the reason was and whether it was a very important reason. Why did we get there? Okay. Well, I don't understand why this. Let's just not allow bakeable globals. Like, okay, so maybe we are returning something. It doesn't matter. So, my goal was to disable, like I said, I don't want to create new problems, right? I just want to solve the bug, and we'll make a repro case out of that bug so that later, when we go back and want this to become constant, we'll see if it breaks the new repro case, right? So let's do that. I don't know why. Okay, so we're going to have to re-break this for a second because I want this to be like a single file test. So the thing is, does this repro the thing? So to know that, I have to go break the fixed. So it was just this. Right, so we want to take that back out, but we want to know if this repros the thing. Yes, it does. All right, so copy, tests, regression, bakeable global struct literal crash. We're gonna, if you're wondering why we have hundreds of tests, it's because we do this. All right, so we're gonna bring that back out. I'm going to recompile this. We're going to run the compiler on, because we don't have a good shell, we can't say bang $, or whatever. All right. Value after import must be a string literal. Oh, shit. I don't do that through identifiers? Wait, why did this... Why did this crash? What? Now I'm really confused, dude. Didn't I just run this? And well, it's way back. How did it? Did I run the wrong thing? Oh my god, dude. This is a weird parsing corner case that we have to fix. All right, so that compiled and worked, but now I'm not sure. Okay, it does crash. That's so weird, dude. All right. Anyway, here we go. So fixed a crash in some cases of using the address of a global variable inside a struct literal. All right, so that's great. Boom. Ah, my no check-in is still there. The convention is that the caller handles the bakeable global if we have one, but we returned null here because it's not a normal constant. Is this the best way to handle things? Maybe not. Okay, do we have any other no check-ins? No. All right. Cool, that is checked in. I'm replying to the user saying this is fixed in the next beta. Thanks for the report. I kind of want to get dinner, but I'm kind of feeling maybe I'd rather hang out at home, but I don't really have food. I just have snacks. DoorDash. Yeah, no, I'll go out to get the food. Thanks everyone for hanging out. And it wasn't a long stream. We just did a little bit of bug fixing, but it is it's value being provided for the people. So what do you want? All right, thanks everybody. Like I was saying, I like streaming more in the morning. So maybe I'll do that instead of night times. Let's see if we could raid someone. Let's who is on software and game development? Is there a way for me to even get there? I'm searching Twitch, software, and game development. Because literally I don't have a link. All right. Who's on here? What's going on? 4 a.m. is the optimal programming time. That might be true. What is this? Public something partial class unity. Well, what's he working on? That's the question. Neuro Inscription. Can you play Inscription on Neuralink? Does anyone know this dude? Is his project good? These people are still going. I remember rating them years ago. Godot contributor arc continues. I mean, is it now in the terms that you have to get gender reassignment surgery to contribute to Godot, or like what are the rules now? I'm not quite sure. It doesn't look like much is happening, but I don't have volume turned on. Maybe discussion is occurring. LeetCode, DevChill, UE5 and Blender, Scuffle. Do we have beef with Godot? I'm just referring to they had a big public relations situation about, I don't know, a month ago or 2 months ago or 10 months ago. It was before the election, so it was more than 1 month ago. Like, did the election at least tell some people that not literally everyone is in their bubble? Or like, I mean, I guess they all go to Blue Sky and then they're like, look, everybody believes the same. Yeah, wishful thinking. Who is Automated? Automated has a lot of viewers. I don't like that video. That's freaking me out. Don't cut toward yourself. What the? Don't do that. What? That lady's gonna just cut her thumb in half. What are you even doing? So, in 2021, around there, I had a girlfriend who was like cutting in a highly like worse than this, and I was just like, did nobody teach you anything? Oh my God. What is even happening? Oh my God. Don't cut soap like that, people. Don't do it. You have a lot of control. No, you don't, because what what happens is you hit a tiny little nugget of like dried congealed stuff in the soap and you have just like a very momentary hitch. And then it pushes through and then it slices your thumb in half. Like, that's what the fuck happens when you cut that way. Like, do kids these days, do they not even learn these basic things? All right. Ugh. You learn by cutting yourself. All right, are we saying there's no raid? Like what are we saying? I'm just not seeing anything that's that exciting. But maybe some of these people could do a better job of explaining what they're doing. Working on alpha release of some Twitch plays thing? I don't know. Adding the biggest feature to Pandemonium Puzzle.
So, I think I'm just going to switch this really quick here.
He's playing a game on Steam.
Oh, no, if I do that, it's going to take every... They'll figure it out. They'll look at it and they'll go, he's not working on Pandemonium Puzzle. And
Yeah, that's...
Pandemonium Puzzle.
All right, I give up, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.